that. Okay. So there are 7 justices. These justices are elected for terms up to 10 years. They're elected by voters from the 5 appellate court districts. 3 of them come from Cook County. It's just a population thing. It's just the reality of the situation that Cook County is one of the most populated counties in Illinois. 1 comes from each of the other districts. The justices select the Chief Justice. The state Supreme Court is the court of final appeal, and they don't have to accept any case except where the death penalty is involved, and that's a different it's different from the federal Supreme Court because they don't have to accept any case at all, except that which they choose to. So the appellate courts hear appeals from the circuit courts. The appellate court is organized into 5 districts, and this is where the voters, they'll vote for a justice for the state Supreme Court. So Chicago, Elgin, Ottawa, Springfield, and Mount Vernon are the seats of these appellate court districts. I'd remember that if I were you. So judges are elected for 10-year terms, appellate court judges, and the number of appellate court judges is set by the legislature. Right now there are 54 of them. So circuit courts hear most trials. Most things are not important enough for the Supreme Court or even an appellate court to hear. Should the Supreme Court hear a case about a traffic ticket? No. That's a little below them. That would go to a circuit court. So there are 23 judicial circuits. Each circuit has its chief circuit judge, additional circuit judges, and associate judges. The associate judges help pick up the slack, a little bit the judicial backlog. So circuit judges, they're elected for 6-year terms. They may be retained for additional 6-year terms, and they can hear any circuit court case. The associate judges, they're appointed by the circuit judges. They serve 4-year terms. Illinois judges have to be U.S. citizens, licensed attorneys in the state of Illinois, and a resident of the district or circuit that they serve. So circuit courts, they're courts of original jurisdiction. These are ordinary trial courts. Most cases, court cases, they begin in circuit courts. Appellate courts hear cases appealed from the lower courts. Then we have the rest of the articles. And again, just do yourself a favor, download a copy of the Constitution. The Illinois State one, that is. Article 7, you have rules for local governments. Local governments are given limited powers to pass ordinances or local laws. Article 8, public money and property can only be used for public purposes. And this article explains how public funds are budgeted, spent, and audited. Revenue describes how the state can collect money from the people through taxes on property, income, and sales. Education. You supposedly get a free education through high school. I don't know if this has changed or not. And when I went to high school, you had to pay a lot of fees. Environment. It gives the General Assembly power to ensure a healthy environment for Illinois residents, whatever that might mean. Militia allows the General Assembly to form a state militia. This is the National Guard, made up of Illinois citizens, so the governor is commander-in-chief of the state militia National Guard. militia is a term that is not quite in vogue these days. So, 13, Article 13, you have rules, gives rules for persons running or holding office in Illinois. And Article 13 also says that public transportation is an essential public service, and that the General Assembly can spend money on it. Article 14 explains how the Illinois Constitution can be changed. And again, download a copy of the Constitution, because test questions are going to come from the Constitution. And I am not in your home, right? So I cannot do anything if you wish to use a copy of your Constitution to answer test questions. Just my 2 cents on the matter. There are amendments to the Constitution that may be proposed either by a Constitutional Convention or by the General Assembly. If a Constitutional Convention is held to revise or amend, a majority of Illinois voters must approve the changes. If the amendments are proposed by the General Assembly, the amendments must be approved by 3/5 of the voters at the next general election. So that is how the Constitution is revised or changed. Our U.S. Senators. Dick Durbin. That's him. He's the senior senator because he's been there the longest. He's been in office from 1997 to the present day. He's been the Senate majority and minority, just depending on what the Democrats were, or if they were in power or not, since 2005. Then Tammy Duckworth, that is Tammy Duckworth. She is the junior senator. She was elected in 2017. She was in Congress. She was a U.S. representative from 2013 to 2017. Tell you, government's a good gig if you can get in the door. Then miscellaneous facts. The square dance is the official dance of the state of Illinois. Land of Lincoln is the official state slogan. I don't think these are going to escape being on the test. I mean, these are miscellaneous facts, but these are things that you should know. Again, not my decision. The white-tailed deer is the official state animal. The northern cardinal is the official state bird. The white oak is the Illinois state tree. And we have 2 major parties, the Democratic and Republican parties. This is our state flag. Used to be just this, but when the militia went out of state, nobody knew what this was, so they put Illinois at the bottom. This is our Great Seal, and this was inserted to make the flag recognizable to out-of-staters. This is federalism. Again, just another quick review. The U.S. Constitution is the law of the land. Federal laws have to be square with the U.S. Constitution. If they're not, they are unconstitutional. They should be thrown out. Now, are they always? No. Then the state constitutions, they have to follow the federal law. They have to follow the U.S. constitutions. If they don't, they're no good. Now, does that mean they're always thrown out? No. State laws have to comply with the state constitutions and all of the above. If they don't, they're supposedly no good. They are no good. Does that mean that they always are thrown out, judged unconstitutional? No. And local ordinances, repeat everything I just said. Does an unconstitutional local ordinance always mean that it's thrown out, judged not good, unlawful, whatever word you wish to use? No. Wish it was, but the world we live in, we have a government that's over here, and how things should be is way over here. And that's just the way the world works. Wish it didn't. But that is the end of this particular unit on the Illinois Constitution. Now, there's a little bit more we're going to do on constitutions that this PowerPoint didn't quite cover. But I think that's enough for this week. So reach out if you have any questions, comments, concerns. If not, have a wonderful week.